It used to make noises. It doesn't anymore. It needs new batteries. Kind of like you. SmackDown from April 25th.
All right.
Probably kicks off with what I want to talk about the most is John Cena and Randy Orton, obviously.
Yeah.
A little confrontation. The challenge is officially set.
Right.
We're getting it one more time. Do you think this is going to be the last time these two lock up?
Probably.
I think it should be because I think it's the perfect setting for it.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, everything is like perfect.
Yeah.
John Cena, Randy Orton for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
What did you think of the segment as a whole from SmackDown? John Cena went back into the crowd saying that because Randy Orton was like dogging on him for not having kids, and he's like, I didn't have kids because I spent the last 20 plus years raising everyone else's.
You know, it was really,
and he's like, that kid just flipped me off.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was really confused about why they were talking about kids for a second.
It's because John Cena doesn't have any kids.
Yeah, that's probably Randy was like saying that's why the way he is and stuff like that.
He doesn't have any kids.
Yeah.
You look at Randy Orton, I think a lot of people have been interviewed. Randy Orton has changed a lot since having kids.
Right.
You know,
maybe
maturity wise. John Cena.
You think RKOing Nick Aldis for no reason was mature for you?
Well, there's always a little bit of that old Randy Orton still lingering back there, and he's got to have that if he wants to be the best still. But right now, the best is John Cena.
He is the best.
He's the WWE champion. He's the man.
The GOAT.
Yeah, but he tried to take a shot at Orton at the end of the segment, and it backfired. Randy Orton hit that RKO. It's seeming like John Cena is getting beat up every week.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when it all comes down to all said and done, he's on top.
Yeah, he's never came out on top in these like altercations before.
Yeah, because leading up to Mania, he was getting beat up by Cody Rhodes, it felt like, all the time.
Yeah.
And now he's getting beat up by Randy Orton all the time.
Yeah. When's he finally going to get that, like, hey, I won?
We'll see.
You know what I mean? Maybe it won't even be Randy Orton. Maybe it'll be like somebody else. I don't know.
Maybe.
Do you think we'll ever get a John Cena match on like Raw or SmackDown?
No, probably not.
That's what I was wondering the other day.
I'm curious if we're even going to get a John Cena match on a Raw or SmackDown this year.
Yeah.
I feel like we will at some point, I would think. At least one more time.
Yeah.
But as of right now, it's looking like he's just going to PLEs, and maybe like the Saturday Night's Main Event is the only other like TV event he may do, wrestling wise. First match of the night was a tag team between Los Garza and Fraxium. It's looking like they're gonna move them up.
You know, they clearly showed why they should be moved up.
Yeah, they got the big fat W on this one.
Yeah, there's nothing more they can do on NXT. They've already done so much there.
You can argue maybe the greatest tag team in NXT.
Now, here's the question. It looks like they're on SmackDown for now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they move them to SmackDown or maybe move them up to Raw?
I don't know. I feel like Raw needs a bit more action on the tag team division.
That's what I was thinking. Because
it's clear once we get to the main event of the night.
Right.
It's clear SmackDown is good when it comes to tag team action.
I was thinking about this as well because the Wyatt Six is technically on SmackDown right now.
Yeah. So
technically,
they'll eventually, I would think, get them thrown into a tag team division.
Right.
Maybe with Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy or something.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, I think they have enough right now.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I feel like. Anyway, we'll talk about the main event later.
Yeah, but Fraxium making a big old statement here.
Yeah, big statement.
Jade Cargill confronted Tiffany Stratton and laid out a little challenge.
Interesting.
And that led to a one-on-one match. Something I feel like we're gonna get again eventually down the line.
I definitely think
big
so.
Rivalry.
Yeah.
Because this is a WrestleMania match. You could argue right here.
Oh yeah.
However, this match is interrupted by no contest.
Mm-hmm.
You had Nia Jax and you had Naomi getting involved.
Yeah.
I think we kind of knew the whole Naomi Jade Cargill wasn't quite yet over. We thought there'd be maybe a little bit more.
It's probably going to set up a tag match for the week after, or
and then maybe Backlash they have a rematch or something.
Yeah.
And then you got Naomi and Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
which we've been asking for them to get one more match since Tiffany cashed in.
Yeah.
They've yet to actually have a one-on-one title match.
Right.
And I think that could go down at Backlash.
There you
go. Next we had LA Knight and Drew McIntyre stepping up to Jacob Fatu. Both men saying they want that U.S. title shot.
Which is very interesting that Drew McIntyre was in that spot as well.
Well, he did beat Damian Priest at Mania, so he is up there in those rankings.
I was thinking Drew was going to maybe push up for the title, but it makes sense that Randy Orton did John Cena, so...
I will say, I feel like I am disappointed that they have completely abandoned the whole Drew McIntyre bloodline hunting storyline that they set up at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
It was more they set it up towards the end of last year because they had him go after Sammy and then like Jay and Jimmy.
Right.
And then nothing. It's like, okay, is he not going to go after Roman? That they set up that whole rivalry, and that's why you could have easily put him into that main event match at Mania.
Right.
And made that a fatal 4-way.
I think they're also trying so hard to get Damian Priest in there because it's Sin City.
Well, he lost, so it's not like it did anything for him.
I don't think it's over, though.
No, because we see later on, and we'll get to that in a little bit, Damian Priest gets his face put in the middle of things. The next match was Zelina Vega defeating Chelsea Green to become the new Women's United States Champion. Zelina Vega proving that hard work does indeed pay off.
Yeah, and history is made, man. Second ever champion.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Chelsea Green's going to have to take a little bit of a step back.
Right.
Reassess. Figure out what's next.
What do you think is next for Chelsea Green? Do you think... Really?
Get to that next level.
You think so?
We're done with the U.S. title picture. It's time for that women's title picture.
So that Secret Service isn't...
Secret Hervis.
Hervis, right.
Yes.
It's not for the U.S. Championship anymore.
No, I mean, they could maybe do something a little more...
I think they're going to be more tag
but
teams. So.
I want Chelsea Green going. Imagine her and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine those segments, the promo segments they could have?
Be very good promos, not
It'd be very entertaining.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Again, congrats to Zelina Vega getting that big fat W and becoming the new Women's United States Champion.
Right.
But now we had a big return here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Miz was not very happy he wasn't at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Just complaining.
Like he does.
Always complains.
Like he does.
And then Aleister Black, he did not want to hear any of it. So he just came out and returned.
So he's like, I'm going to return.
I'm going to return to WWE. He was just in town, and then he heard the Miz talking. He's like, I'm getting my gear on.
He just happened to be just around the corner, and he heard the Miz. He's like, all right.
Did you see like the crowd like see that they're getting his stuff set up at the
I saw videos of like people taking like the production crew setting stuff up.
If you're like watching the Miz like talking stuff, everyone stands up and looks to
the
the
stage. They're like, oh, they're doing something over there.
Yeah, they looked at the stage.
And it was Aleister Black.
It was.
And he made a statement here tonight.
He returned.
And he laid the Miz out. Seems like the Miz is always a good first rivalry for people.
Former champion.
2-time world champion.
Beat John Cena.
In the main event of WrestleMania. Don't disrespect the Miz.
He beat the GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. But yeah, that's probably going to be his first match next week.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I'm glad he's back.
Yeah.
And I believe, just like Rusev, I believe he's going to...
I hope Rusev is getting to that main title spot.
Same with Aleister Black.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine like him and like... I mean, who's some of the people that he could go up against? Like, him and Drew McIntyre.
That would be cool.
Aleister Black and the Wyatt Six would be so cool.
Oh, I think that's got to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just hoping they don't... They're like, hey, let's put him in the mid-card for now. And then that's what they did on Andrade, and now he's not.
Well, look at LA Knight, how once he got that hype going,
yeah,
they stuck him with The Miz for a little bit, got him going, And then it was, all right, now he's facing Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. Now he's facing AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Now he's the United States champion.
I like what they have going for the Rusev with his video package and stuff.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I'm sorry.
We'll get to that.
It got me hype.
I get it. I feel it. I feel it. All right, chill. We need like a hype meter.
A hype meter?
Dude, it'd be up a lot. It'd be like...
Can you have a hype meter? Like,
I don't know how to do that, but if I was smart enough, I would.
Should we pay someone to put a hype meter?
Someone make a hype meter, and every time Caysen gets excited, have it skyrocket.
Just have it in the comment section. Just the hype it.
Put the time segment and the amount of hype that Caysen demonstrated.
I almost stood up.
All right, next match was Drew McIntyre defeating LA Knight via disqualification.
Yeah.
You had Solo Sikoa involved. You had Damian Priest get involved, and then you had Jacob Fatu getting involved. It's clear we're setting up for a multi-man match, probably a Backlash, for the United States Championship.
Definitely.
It seems like... Do you think maybe SummerSlam is when we're going to get maybe Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa? Because I feel like they're going to set that for a big stage.
I think they're waiting a little longer to set that up, because we had a little bit of stuff happen before his altercation as well with Solo and Jacob. They're slowly building it up, which I like to see.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk about what happens next.
The main event,
Yeah.
the Tag TLC. A lot of people upset that this match did not get the WrestleMania spot and the other tag match did.
Yeah.
Because this match was crazy. So you had the Street Profits, DIY, and Motor City Machine Guns. And this match was nuts.
Motor City Machine Guns is going to be in 2K in like a few days.
Yeah. I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a TLC match.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last one.
Usually they'll just call it a ladder match and bring tables out
anyways. But this was like an official tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Right.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Should have been at Mania.
Oh, yeah. I enjoyed every second of it.
And it was people getting... Angelo Dawkins speared... Who did he spear through the table?
It was one of the most machine
Was it one of the... Or was it Tommaso? I think it was Tommaso.
It might have been Tommaso, yeah.
And he got speared through... He jumped off the ladder, hit him, put him through the table.
Yeah, because I remember one of the guys in Motor City Machine Guns was like helping him with that.
Montez Ford grabbed some dude's prosthetic leg and started just whooping up on everybody.
Hey, that would not have happened at Mania.
Yeah, it would have.
You think
We don't know. I don't know if there was going to be someone with a prosthetic leg. That is true.
Was it planted?
You can't always count. I like to believe it wasn't because I think that makes it even better.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm going to choose to believe it wasn't.
Either wasn't or was. It was still awesome.
It was very, very fun. It was funny.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, the Street Profits.
They
Tag
defended.
Team Champs.
They defended.
They earned it.
Yeah.
They showed once again why they are maybe the greatest tag team in the company right now.
Mm.
And I would love to see like teams like them and like Fraxium going up against each other. That match would bang.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Heck yeah. Anything else on SmackDown you want to talk about before we move on to Monday Night Raw?
Well, we were talking about setting up things earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to them setting up Austin Theory and Grayson Waller?
I feel like they've been hinting at a breakup between them for like 2 years now.
And
just nothing's happened.
Right.
Because I thought they were really going to try and push Austin Theory as a face. Because I think it could have worked.
Do you think they just gave up on it, you think?
No, the only thing I can think of is just too much going on right now.
You think they're waiting for things to settle down?
Yeah, or just finding a good spot to do it. I mean, they had them working in NXT.
Well,
they didn't do anything.
Here's what's messing with me. I think they deserve a lot more screen time than what they're getting right now.
Yes, Grayson Waller's insanely talented.
Oh, yeah.
He's such a egotistical
They're not
heel.
only talented in the ring, they're talented on the mic.
On the mic.
And that's what you need in this company.
Mm-hmm.
And people... For me, talking about what I think, I enjoy Grayson Waller and Austin Theory.
No. Preach it.
They're entertaining.
Don't preach it to me. Preach it to them.
They're entertaining. I'm about to stand up again.
All right, it's getting high. It's getting high. We got to take a breath.
It's at level 6 right now.
You don't want to see me go to 10. You don't want to see me go to 10.
Okay, let's bring it down.
I'm about at 6 right now. don't want to see him go to 10.
About to take the step.
I'm about to step up.
Poor Rey Mysterio, no.
It's fine. He's fine.
He's a good guy.
All right. Moving on to Monday Night Raw from April 28th.
We start off with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And
I don't really know quite what to call this group.
Do you think we're probably going to get more people?
What, Evolution 2.0 or something?
There's a lot of people saying they're the next Evolution.
That's what it looks like.
I mean, here's what I'm thinking.
Hey, obviously, we need someone to join that needs it. And that's usually some younger talent that could use. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller could be a good addition to this group, honestly.
It could be.
They could be a very good addition.
Here's what I'm thinking. We need at least 2 new members, because I'm pretty sure they're setting up for a War Games match at Survivor Series. With this
group and whoever.
Yeah. Do you think this new group is going to get a name at some point? Do you think when they get a new member they will?
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, if they do a War Games match, they typically do 5 members, so they would need 3 other people.
Well, then they always have that one other person.
They could always add some random person. They do that a lot.
But then again,
we'll see. However, this group in its current form was confronted by Sami Zayn.
Yeah, so just Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins.
And Paul Heyman. Don't leave him out, buddy.
Is Paul Heyman going to be in the...
He might.
Should Paul Heyman...
He might.
In War Games.
He might.
Paul Heyman with
That's a long ways away. That's in November.
Yeah, I know.
We got a long way before that.
I'm just saying.
They're
definitely setting up something with this new group.
But yeah, Rollins saying that, hey, I'll help you move over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Away from Raw. And you won't have to worry about us going after you.
Right.
He offered that, basically offered him to join them.
Offered him a championship match with John Cena.
He's like, hey, you get to face the winner of John Cena and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
You are going to get a title shot. No questions asked.
And that's like the one thing that Sammy's like begging for.
Sammy's never been world champ.
Yeah.
He's never done it. He's hitting this glass ceiling and he needs to break through.
Mm.
And Seth Rollins is offering him a chance.
We're about to see if he takes it.
Yeah. Well, we move on to the first match of the night. Rhea Ripley against Roxanne Perez.
By the way, I just want to say this was a great match.
Yeah.
Before it ended.
Before it ended again in disqualification. Because Julia gets involved.
So are we seeing that? Do you think there's a new tag team being formed with Roxanne and Julia?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's too soon to bring Julia up to the main roster? Do you think she had a little bit more to do in NXT?
What I'm thinking right now is that in NXT we have so much women.
Especially the women.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women
There's a lot of talent women.
So much.
I think they're just trying to push them up.
Yeah.
They're trying to okay, if these people are good enough.
And I feel like it is time maybe on the main roster to... It's always fun to kind of freshen things up a little bit.
Right. I think that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, and Roxanne Perez and Julia are...
I'm not saying it's the right decision, but I'm saying I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But
this segment, Julia got involved and Io Sky came out.
Yeah.
Looked like they set up a tag match, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe a Backlash.
And don't forget, Rhea wants that championship.
She wants that title.
Yeah.
It's funny we haven't seen Bianca Belair.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think she should turn heel and turn on Jade Cargill. Honestly.
Really?
Yes.
That would be actually kind of cool.
Yes. Heel Bianca Belair going up against Jade Cargill. Because clearly they want to push... Jade Cargill is clearly the next big thing.
Yeah.
And I see her main eventing...
Scam likely. Sorry, you got a Scam likely call.
I see Jade Cargill being at WrestleMania next year.
Right.
For the title.
Yeah.
And then who better to help get her there than Bianca Belair? Maybe SummerSlam.
Maybe,
big match.
Maybe, yeah. Probably.
That's all I'm saying.
Bianca Belair and Naomi.
Yeah.
Belair.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair and Big Naomi.
Anyways. Next is a little segment between Jey Uso and Logan Paul. We were literally talking about this last week, how we think Logan Paul will be a good rival for Jey Uso during his title reign. And it's the first one.
I think this is a good way to start it off.
Mm-hmm. I think these two can complement each other very well.
I think so too. I think...
Because honestly, they're very similar in some ways. The way they carry themselves, their movesets are a little similar. They're, they like the flashy, the frog splashes.
Yeah.
They're similar in a lot of ways. And this match is going down at Backlash.
I think this match might...
Steal the show?
It might steal the show.
Over Cena and Orton? If Cena wrestles like he did at Mania.
I was about to say, after Mania, are we
really
going to...
It ain't going to take much.
Yeah.
But this ended with Jey Uso super kicking Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Next is a tag match between the War Raiders defeating Finn Balor and JD McDonough.
Very interesting. After Penta's interference.
Mm-hmm. Penta getting involved.
Michael Cole once again taking shots at JD's big old head during the match.
Taking shots at his big old head.
I know. It's hilarious. I actually laughed at that part. I was dying. I was not ready for it.
Big old head. Hey, but if you get headbutt by his big old head, his head's winning every time.
Even against a Samoan?
Wouldn't that be something? Probably not.
A Samoan headbutt against a JD headbutt.
I feel like Samoan headbutt always wins, no matter what. Always.
What about JD?
I think, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The bigger head they got, the harder it's going to hurt when you headbutt a Samoan.
Okay. Anyways, War Raiders win. We're getting JD and Penta next week and Raw.
Yeah.
It's basically setting up for Penta versus Dominic Mysterio.
Mm-hmm. Then we had Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria getting into a big brawl.
Yeah.
And this was after the match has been laid out. And at Backlash, we're getting the Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria taking on the man Becky Lynch.
I think
she's back in business.
I think Becky should win.
I think she should, and I think Lyra down the line should win the title back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Next, we had the NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Valkyria defeating Ivy Nile.
Very interesting. They're having the NXT Women's Champion
back-to-back
matches.
I thought that was odd too.
Why do you think that is?
Unless they're just planning to bring up a ton of women.
Yeah. They're
going to have Stephanie drop the title soon. But to who?
Remember that
I'm
ladder
thinking
match.
Stephanie's going to carry the NXT division for the year at least.
I mean, remember the ladder match that we had at Stand and Deliver?
Yeah.
We got a lot of women.
A lot of women out there.
And they're
hungry.
They need their time to shine.
I agree. I get it. Stephanie Valkyria picking up that W. And this is what I want to talk about. Pat McAfee's promo.
I thought Gunther was
Boy, did he deliver a good promo, though.
I thought he was going to show up.
Well, Gunther was suspended. He couldn't
be there.
He
still go anyways, to be honest.
But Pat put on a pretty good promo.
Yeah.
And basically, he laid out the challenge.
Yeah.
He wants Gunther.
And Nick Aldis is
like... Backlash. You want it?
Nick Aldis is like, no.
Yeah, that's important to mention. Nick Aldis was here, not Adam Pearce. Doctor's orders.
Right.
But Nick Aldis picking up the slack. But yeah. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that match, Backlash. Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
We both said this whenever we were...
Pat McAfee has zero chance.
Yeah.
There's no way he's winning this match.
Listen, I went straight to my phone and we were like, he's not winning.
He's not winning, dude. But I feel like I've read a lot of reports that they could be doing this to help set up the future Gunther versus Goldberg match.
Do you think so?
And it'll be Goldberg's retirement match at SummerSlam. Which I think would be good. I think Gunther would be a good last match.
I was about to say, if Gunther loses against Pat McAfee, that immediately just sets him all the way down.
I mean, I think they'll do something. And maybe somebody will get involved. Maybe Pat McAfee's boys will get involved.
Do you think...
And there'll be like a moment where it's like, oh my gosh, he's in it. He's going to do it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be good.
I think he's about to do the choke out thing.
Yeah,
he'll choke him out. He's not going to stop, and then Goldberg's going to show up.
Show up and do something. It's possible. It's possible.
Or that he shows up later. He's going to show up probably.
Yeah.
After you said
but
that.
Pat McAfee...
Bless you.
Thank you. Pat McAfee's promo, I thought, was very good.
Yeah.
On Raw.
It was good. Got the crowd on his back.
Yeah. Moving on to the main event. Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. Had to be stopped by referee stoppage.
Yeah, Braun Breaker just spear after spear after spear after spear after Sami keeps. Let's go back. Sami declined the offer, and that's why we're having this match.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth went. You still have a way out, and Sami was like, "Nah." So Seth was, get him.
It's like
spear after spear after spear, and it's just like Sami got injured from Kevin Owens, gets injured right back again
by Braun
Breaker. I don't think Sami's going to be the first. I mean, I'm the only one.
They're not stopping.
Yeah.
And I think it's important we didn't see CM Punk this week.
Yeah. Or Roman Reigns.
We didn't see Roman Reigns. I'll say it right now. I don't think you're going to be able to stop these guys. Not with Braun. I'm honestly, every time I see Braun Breaker, I'm amazed by his talent.
Dude.
It's insane, this guy.
Insane.
He's so good.
He is the next big name,
dude.
Bro.
And you realize how young he is. He's in his 20s.
We're going to have so much more of him,
He's
bro.
not that old.
He's going to be like...
He is so good.
He's going to be there for about as long as Seth Rollins, probably.
Yeah, he is so good. And he's on such a good track to be a huge star. And especially with them partnering him up with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman.
I think that was probably one of the best decisions for his career.
Yeah.
After... Sure, he lost a championship match at WrestleMania, but still, he's still just got to a new level next Raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, NXT.
All right, moving on to... Or you want to talk about Rusev's package?
Oh yeah, Rusev.
Basically just saying he's going to dominate.
Yeah. He's talking about his past and how it brought him to like depression and stuff.
Yeah, how he had to leave in order to get better, which is the case with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And now he's really found himself. And now he's not going to worry about a woman. He's not going to worry about a country. He's going to worry about Rusev. What's best for him, and that's just pure domination.
Otis is his first target.
Otis. I believe we're getting that next Raw.
Yeah.
Otis versus Rusev.
That's what they announced. Dude, I'm going to go in and ask, who's the next person to stand up to Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman?
I don't know. I don't know if anybody would want to step up to them. I mean, I'm thinking that, right? Well,
I mean, Jay Uso.
I was assuming they were going to do something at Backlash, and I assumed it was going to be Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Punk and Roman.
Yeah.
In a tag match.
Do you think they're still setting up for that? You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
But here's the thing. I think after Backlash, Jay Uso is going to have something to say.
Jey Uso
after what they
down
did
the
to
line.
Sami Zayn.
True.
And I think Seth Rollins should get his title back.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
I think so. And that's when we get the new members.
Let this man cook. Let him cook. Just give him a little bit of cooking time.
It's sizzling.
Call him Chef Ramsay because he's cooking.
Chef Ramsay.
NXT from April 29th kicks off with Dark State destroying Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Dark State didn't believe in Joe Hendry this night.
They're just beating him up.
They beat that boy up, the TNA World Champion. I mean, I feel like at this point, NXT's essentially drafted Joe Hendry.
Basically.
And this is such a good deal for people, this whole TNA, because like look at like Jordan Grace, how she's already established herself on NXT before she was even officially a part of the roster.
Yeah.
I think that helps so much.
Do you think that's going to happen with Joe Hendry?
Yeah. Whenever his deal runs out with TNA,
he's gone.
I think he'll be coming. Yeah, the WWE is going to be sending over a nice offer. Especially they just had him perform at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think...
We've never had the TNA World Champion perform at Mania.
TNA doesn't realize they're about to lose all their greatest stars to WWE.
Yeah, but I feel like... I don't know. I feel like it helps them too.
Yeah.
Because they're getting their stars on NXT TV, WWE TV, which is getting more viewers.
And
they see that, and those viewers can be like, okay, let me go check out this guy on actual TNA.
Yeah.
And then they're also getting NXT starts on TNA shows. I've
been getting a lot of stuff about TNA and stuff on my phone and stuff.
Yeah,
now,
all the time.
You can tell that they're.
I just want to see a big like a War Games match between NXT and TNA.
Right.
I think that'd be so much fun. Like the best of TNA versus the best of NXT.
I'd love to
do like a big 5-on-5 War Games match. It would be so cool. First match of the night was Ricky Saints defeating Lexis King.
Yeah.
Lexis King after he lost his Heritage Cup to Noam Dar.
Yeah.
And we had a little backstage segment between Metaphor, and it looks like Metaphor is breaking up.
Sad.
Noam Dar wanted to have a reunion, but Lash Legend was like, I don't know, things have kind of changed, you know? Like, we were performing in Saudi Arabia for the tag titles. I mean, things can't go back to the way they were. Things have changed. And Noam Dar had to accept it. Things change. People grow apart.
He's been a part of this company for a long time. He should know that by now.
He knows that. And hey, he's the new Heritage Cup champion. He's on the way up.
He clearly doesn't need.
He's on the way up. Next match was the new NXT Women's North American Champion Sol Ruca defeating Carmen Petrovic. It's looking like Carmen Petrovic and Ashante the Adonis breaking up.
It always comes to an end.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a very small % chance that if you're in a relationship in WWE
that it works out.
It always ends.
Even if you're
married to somebody.
Yeah, even if you're like married or in a relationship with that person in real life, the WWE storyline will find a way to break you guys up in the storyline. They did it with like Rusev and Lana.
I was about to say like Rusev and Lana.
They did like a whole affair storyline
with Bobby Lashley.
They're married in real life. But Sol Ruca and Zarya.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna get a little rivalry there down the line. I mean, they're friends now. They're partners now, but eventually Zarya's gonna want that title.
I just want to say, Sol Ruca is so cool.
She's so cool and she's so good. Her soul snatcher finisher.
So cool.
Basically, she jumps back, does a front flip, and does a cutter.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
So cool.
So effortless. It looks like to her. To me, I'd snap my neck trying to do something like that. Kill
you think?
Yeah. Next match was the new NXT Tag Team Champions, Hank and Tank.
Hank and Tank.
Taking on Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inumura. And Hank and Tank picking up that big fat W. The new Tag Team Champions.
They're on a streak right now, man. They were on a losing streak, and now they're on a winning streak.
Now they're the biggest team in NXT.
Yeah.
Next match was another tag team match between Io Sky, Jordan Grace, defeating Roxanne Perez and Julia. So big win.
That's the champion.
Io Sky back on NXT.
Yeah.
Getting that big fat W. And we also had a segment between Tony D'Angelo and Stax.
Right.
Stax wasn't there, but Tony D'Angelo was in the middle of the ring, surrounded by security. And Stax ordered the security basically just to attack the Don.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
I feel like this may be... I'm going to say, I think Stax turning on Tony D'Angelo is the biggest backstabbing turn in NXT history.
Crazier than DIY?
You can put it up there with that.
Yeah.
You can put it up there with that. It's just there's so much... I mean, there's story with both of those, but like, man, was there story with this.
Yeah. It was all random, too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think this match down the line is going to be amazing. Yeah. This rivalry is going to bang.
Tony D'Angelo and Stax.
And this could be I feel like they're going to... I feel like Stax is going to go over. Stax is going to win. Because Tony D'Angelo is going to move on to that main roster spot.
Do you think Tony D'Angelo is going to keep the Dawn thing going?
Maybe not. I could see him doing a new persona once he comes into the main roster.
Maybe it's Seth Rollins.
The Enforcer, Tony D'Angelo. Let me cook.
Tony D'Angelo, Braun Breaker, and Seth Rollins. And then
And Paul
Heyman, and then maybe, I don't know.
Maybe add one more.
Akira Tozawa.
Heck yeah. I'm all for that.
If Akira Tozawa is
I'm all for that.
turns on Otis.
Dude, that'd be nuts. That'd be nuts. I mean, Rusev would be honestly a good choice.
I think Russo would be a great choice.
Yeah.
But I think they've already set stone what he wants to do.
Yeah, Rusev is going to be on his own, I feel like.
Yeah.
Rusev, worrying about Rusev.
Right. Clearly, I think they know what they're doing with this storyline.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
All right, anything else you want to say about any of these shows before we sign off for today?
Nah, man.
All right. Well, we will be making our Backlash predictions next week.
Right. Let us know what you guys think of our new dudes.
Yeah, we'll find a way to so you can see him a little bit better. But
It's the GOAT.
that's the GOAT right there. Nope.
Hey, just fun fact. His abs are actually rock hard.
Wow.
Okay. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, and thank you for listening to us today. Let us know.
Follow us, subscribe, do all the deals,
Yeah.
like, share, all the good stuff.
All the goody goods. And yeah.
We thank you.
Let us know if you want to see anything from us.
I'm not taking my shirt off. I'm not doing that.
Make sure it's PG like our truth. And
keep it PG like our truth.
Batman, Tyler, Caysen Smith, Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith. John Cena, we'll see you on the next one.